Formal organization or the formal communication will never happen spontaneously. So anything which happens spontaneously, that is called informal. I should always ensure that I have more funds. That is the objective. That's why I do financial planning. The second, I should never borrow finance from anybody else unnecessarily. Even now, scientific management is used by almost 86% of the manufacturing units. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Vidhyaashram from the Department of Business Studies in Vidhyaashram Pre-University, the Temple of Excellence. Now here we are in the revision classes. Vidhyaashram is the only college which does everything for the students, and we have brought you the model question paper for the revision. Now what exactly this model question paper is? Now we know that in the second PUC, lot of syllabus was changed prior to 2016. Later we got 2019 syllabus. Then we also have seen the pandemic syllabus, that is the 2020 and 2021. And now because of the national education policy, the pattern of the model paper is again revised. Now what exactly the pattern was and what the pattern is, there is a lot of different students. So that is the reason Vidhyaashram exclusively is bringing you the model question paper, the first set, where we're gonna tell you that how the question paper gonna come, how the answers should be written, and how can you score 100 on 100 in very easy way. Thank you to all the subscribers and the viewers who are following Vidhyaashram videos. Let's go with the model paper. Now here the blueprint of part A is totally different from what it was before. So let's have a quick recall what exactly we have right now. So the part A will have 8 chapters. Each chapter has its own allotted marks. So just understand the marks here. The first chapter has 12 marks, second chapter with 8, the third chapter with 5. So these are the allotted marks. Now when you go with the allotted marks, you will understand that it's very easy to pass. See, if you only study 4 chapters, you will get 50 marks. You study 5 chapters, you get 70 marks. Like that we can calculate and we can actually go with it. But let me tell you students, when your Abhilash sir can give you 100 on 100, why just to go with 5 chapters or 6 chapters and score 40 or 50 marks? So that is what it is. But let me help you with this cracking the Kurukshetra. What exactly this is? This is exactly a Chakravyuha. Now when you go with this Chakravyuha, I don't want any of my students to be like Abhimanyu. I want each and everybody to be like Arjuna. So what exactly it is, how to go and how to get the real reward, that is 100. I'm going to teach you in this session. So here we have the very short answers. Whenever I say very short answer, it is only for 1 mark. Followed by SA, that means short answer, which is for 2 marks. LA in the sense long answers, which is for 4 marks. And the last one here we have EA, that is called essay type of answer, and that is for 8 marks. So here we have the total kind of a thing. So part A consists exactly 80 marks. That means 80% of your syllabus and 80% of your marks you will get only in part A itself. Now let's go with the part B here. When we go with this part B concept, part B has 4 chapters. Now see, within this 4 chapters, you will be getting how many marks? 50 marks. But the syllabus is for 100, the marks is for 100. So how much you need? 100. So what exactly you can do? You can do something like this. Part A, that is 80 marks, plus you're gonna take part B, only 20, so it is 100. So instead of getting 50, if you score 20 here, you'll be getting how much? 100. This is called the smart way of learning students. Here the biggest chapter, or the chapter which has lot of weightage, if you understand, is the 19 marks, which is the chapter 11, and we all know the chapter 11 is called marketing. See here, from part 1, that is the part A, if I take 8 chapters plus if I take only the 11th chapter, that is 19 marks which has, so that gives you a figure of 99 marks out of 100. That means you can skip the chapter 9, 10 as well as 12. So these are the logic behind it, but I'll tell you here, students, let's not understand all these things, right? I want you people to go with the knowledge, the pure knowledge, which I'm going to teach you in this session, how to go with it. So the instruction for the model paper, it's very simple. We have the instructions given here. The question paper contains 5 parts, namely A, B, C, D, E. And we all know that part E is all about the POQ question, that is practical oriented question. So here part A consists of 4 sections. This is a new scheme which you are supposed to get prepared and thorough with. The first is 1, 2, 3, 4, which comes in the section A, that is the part A. Now part A consists of how many marks? It is only 1 mark. Now here in the part A, we have 4 different groups. The first group, second, third, fourth. So here the third main thing what they say is write the serial number of questions properly given in the question paper while answering. It is very, very important for you people because you need to write the question numbers properly and then try to answer. See, I had been to this correction process. I went to many of the valuation where I have seen that students have written right answer but the wrong question number. So what happens there is a problem for you. Instead, what is that you should do is please write the question number and then start answering. So example, now the third question is something about the third chapter business environment. You would have written the answer right, but instead of writing 3, you would have written 9. So what happens is it's a wrong answer for the wrong question, right? So question number. So what happens is you will be losing your marks. So instead of that, please do follow the third instruction carefully. Fourth, write the correct and complete answer. Please do write the correct and complete answer. I've seen many people dodging the answer, hitting the bush, right? Beating the bush. Now what happens there is you will not get good marks, right? You know a question. Say there is a question called define management. So there is a definition which they want you people to answer it. So if you write according to Ordinal Kuhn's, management is an art of getting things done through others efficiently and effectively, then you get 1 marks. If you write management is an art. Now what is that they are asking you? Define management. Though management is an art is a correct, but when the question is define management, you should write completely but not half. If you write half, you will not get the marks. Let's move on here. So we have the part A. The first part in that part A is the first number which goes with choose the correct answer. That means you have multiple choice question in the first section. You have multiple choice question. 1 into 5 is equal to 5. The first one here is management is. See, you have given 4 options. 1 is correct, 3 are wrong. Let's go with this. Management is an art, correct. Management is a science, correct. Management is both art and science, yes, it's very true. And management is neither when they say. See, we have something called the nature of management. So this question is taken from where? The nature of management. So the nature of management, what it says is management is an art, it is science, B science, and C profession. So these are called the nature of management, and we know that management has not attained professionalism 100%. Hence, management is art as well as science. So now the question is, management is an art, a science, C, both art and science. D, neither. So what is the answer? The answer is C, both art and science. That is how you people need to go with it. Next, the next question is principles of management are not. Now this is the second chapter, principles of management. Now what exactly the question is? Principles of management are not. First one, universal, flexible, absolute, behavior. Now please understand, whenever you go with principles of management are the management principles which goes with acting on the situation. How the contingency is, we are supposed to go with it. So there is a change behind it. So the question is, principles of management are not, the answer is absolute. They are not absolute. It can be changed. They're not absolute. Second, which of the following is an example for the single-use plan? See, there are types of plan. We have standard plan. We have single-use plan. I want you people to understand the difference between standard plan and single plan. The word single means it is done only once, single. And it is specific plan. That is, once if it is done, it will lose its ability. So we need to do once again. So it is what? Single plan. But standard plan, it is for recurring, right? Repeatedly doing the same kind of a thing. So if you understand the concept here, go with this. See, policies are repeated. Procedures repeated. Budget, yes, budget is not repeated. It is put only once. Then methods repeated. So here the answer is what? Budget. I want you people to understand the question. It is not just, see, it is very simple for me to write management is both art and science. Principles of management are not absolute. Which of the following is an example of single plan? Budget. Now I want you people to understand this. I know that many of your teachers would have told you all these things, but still you wouldn't have listened to them. So this is the golden opportunity for you to watch our channel and go for it. Please do like and share our videos. The fourth question is, a network of social relationship that arise spontaneously. Spontaneously it happens. What is that? Due to interaction at work is called. See, there are two things. Formal organization, informal organization. Formal organization or the formal communication will never happen spontaneously. So anything which happens spontaneously, that is called informal. Let's understand this. Formal organization, informal organization, decentralization, delegation. See, delegation is given by the top to the subordinate. Decentralization means authority responsibility goes, it divides, it gets distributed or it gets distributed. So here the answer is what? Informal organization. The way you people talk to your friends, right? Spontaneously it develops. That is what? Informal organization. Now the settlement cycle is in NSE is, now please understand, T plus 5, T plus 3, T plus 2, T plus 1. Now what exactly this T plus 5, T plus 3, T plus 2 and T plus 1 is? T in the sense the transaction or T in the sense the trade. Now today the trade has happened. So when the settlement gonna happen? Earlier in 2001, we had a concept of T plus 5 days. That means the trade is done, the transaction is done. So the settlement will happen after 5 days. That is T plus 5 working days. But later the SEBI, they also thought that it will delay. People will feel bad. So let us actually convert it. So what they did is, they started from T plus 5, they took to T plus 3. Now when it happened to T plus 3, say example now today, we went with it. So today's day plus 3 days. Now it happened till 2003. Till 2003. After that, the SEBI again thought and they revised it with the government of India, thinking that T plus 2 days should be taken. T plus 2 days should be taken. Now understand, students. Many of your faculties would have told you, they have taught you that the settlement period of NSE is T plus 2. Even in your textbook, the settlement period is what? T plus 2. But from 2003, to 2023, that is 20 years, right? It was T plus 2 only. But 27th January 2023, what happened was there was a revision. And you should be happy that after China, it is India, which is the second country which practices from now on, that is T plus 1 settlement. But what exactly you are supposed to do here is go with the fact of knowing the current scenario, and please do select T plus 1. Many of your faculties are going to tell you that it is T plus 2 because it is written in the textbook, but please do not follow that, because right now for the 2023 examination which you are supposed to write in the month of March, if you write T plus 2, it will be wrong. You are supposed to write what? T plus 1 day. That is what you are supposed to go with. So this is what, because of the 27th January 2023, we follow T plus 1 day. You can Google it, you can do any kind of a thing, you will get this. But in the textbook, even now, if you read the textbook, you will have something called T plus 2 days only. So for the betterment, what is that you should do? T plus 1 is the correct answer. The second section of part A, see the part A, second section, fill in the blanks. Now you will be having 5 questions where fill in the blanks will be given. But here the thing is very simple. You will get what? Options. So let's go with the options. It is again 5 into 1 is equal to 5. There is nowhere you are supposed to miss even a single marks. Let me just tell you. Now the first option is recruitment. The word recruitment is inviting people to face an interview. It's called recruitment. Now recruitment is a chapter which is 6th chapter, staffing. Next is effectiveness. First chapter, effectiveness. Rule, that is the method of plan, that is rule. And rule is always what? Specific, right? Now when you go with this specific, rule is a statement. Next we have tertiary bill. Tertiary bill, what exactly these are? These are the instrument. What type of instrument? A short-term instruments. Now a short-term instrument, you are supposed to get it clear. Next we have financial planning. Now what financial planning does actually, in the sense, it will give you a kind of a blueprint of your financial system or the structure of your finance, how exactly it is. Now let's understand. Now you need to tell me in the comment box what will be the 6th question. See, now you are writing the second section. In that 6th one, please do not write the 6th number has the first number. I've seen many of the valuation papers where students have again written 1, 2, 3. Please don't write it. It is not 1, it is 6, 7 and 8. So the blank is here, means achieving the goals by completing. Achieving the goals by completing the given task within the expected time. See, the task is given, time is given. Now you will achieve the task within the time. What is that called as? That is called effectiveness. That is what? Effectiveness. So here you will write effectiveness. Right? Effectiveness, the full completely you will write it. Second one, that is the 7th one. 7th one, dash, that is fill in the blanks. Blank are specific statement. See the word specific statement, which I told you. Specific statement is which one? Rule. Rule is a specific statement. Rule. The minute next, the process of finding possible candidates. Candidate, possible candidate. Please understand, possible candidate for a job or a function is known as, now staffing is there. Now which is the one? Recruitment. So here you write recruitment. So it's very simple, isn't it? See, the minute you get the options, very easily we can actually answer the questions. Next one, the 9th question is the preparation of financial blueprint. I told you, blueprint, financial blueprint. Which one? The minute you get these keywords, so very fast you are supposed to write it. Let's complete this. Of an organization's future operation. Future operation. See, future is all about planning, isn't it? So it is financial planning. So you will write here what? Financial planning. So what is the remaining? Now you have written recruitment, effectiveness, rule, financial planning. The remaining is what? Tertiary bill. But I told you, tertiary bills are what? Short-term instruments. So let's understand this short-term instrument, what it is. Dash is an instrument of short-term borrowing. So what is it? Tertiary bill. So you'll write here tertiary bill. Very simple, guys. It's very easy. The only thing is I want you people to know the knowledge very carefully. Let's go with the third one. Again, part A, the third section is match the following. See, whenever we write the match the following, usually what students do is they write these numbers or they write these alphabets. The problem with the students is they get confused. So I'll tell you how to write the answers here. So suppose I've written A. Now A is what? Delegation. I'll write delegation. Now I'll write here itself the delegation, match the following. Whichever is correct here, I'll write here delegation and its meaning here. See now, delegation means what? Distribution is for decentralization. Delegation is transfer of authority. From what? From top to the bottom. So here what we go with it? Very simple. Grapevine is there. So grapevine is always informal communication. Techniques of managerial control. There are 6 techniques of managerial control. Downward transfer of authority. See, delegation is what? Transfer of authority. So downward from the superior to the subordinate. So this is the third one. So I'll write here 3 and then I'll write downward transfer of authority. Downward transfer of authority. Done. So this is how I'll go with it. Next is job rotation. See, what is this job rotation? I was here. I was in HR. I went to marketing. I went to say promotion. Then I went to product design. So all the things I have done. So that is called job rotation. What type of a thing is? On the job training, there are so many types of job rotation is one of the on the job training. So let's understand here the pattern. Grapevine is not there. Technique is not there. Downward is not there. Excess of current asset over current liability is not there. On the job training. So this is what? On the job training. So what I'll do? A, delegation, where it comes? Here I'll write A. On the job training, that is B, job rotation. Next, informal communication. Informal communication happens spontaneously and it is grapevine communication. So here we have C. So I'll write here C. Next, break-even analysis. What do you mean by break-even analysis? Break-even analysis is a process where we get to know that the company is neither in a loss nor in a profit, and that is called break-even analysis. So where we can actually go with the fixed cost divided by PV is what the break-even analysis gives you. Now here what happens is we have this is done, and this is done. We have 2 left. Technique of managerial control and excess of current assets over current liability. Only here you will go for a toss if you understand this properly. Neither loss nor profit. If you feel assets, current liability, it is wrong. Why? Because here the word says excess. What is the word? Excess. Excess means something more, no? So more assets than liability. Now that is not break even. So what is a break even? Break even is a technique of managerial control. So you will write here D. D. So the last one here we have is working capital. See, working capital, while going for the working capital, always our assets should be more and liability should be less. That is called the working capital. So here the E is here. E. Working capital. So this is how you will be getting 5 into 5. Till now, you have got 15 marks. Now let's go with the next section. That is the 4th section of part A. The 4th section is answer the following questions in 1 word or 1 sentence each. 5 into 5. 5 into 1 is equal to 5. So if you go with this, this is what in a 1 word you can answer or 1 sentence you can answer. Let's go with the first one. Who is known as the father of general management? The word is what here? General management. I told you in my sessions, if you go back and check, general, L is there, general. There are two people, Henry Fayol and F.W. Taylor, in our second chapter, Principle of Management, which the textbook has said. That is, there are two pioneers of management, Henry Fayol and F.W. Taylor. Always my students will get a doubt. Sir, is Henry Fayol the general management father or F.W. Taylor? So I always tell them to go with the trick. The trick is very simple, guys. I'll just write it here for you people so that you will never forget the trick. So here, general. L is there. Whenever there is a question, who is the father of general, you should write Henry Fayol. See, L is here, L is here. General means Henry Fayol. Next, there is also a question, if it comes in the examination, who is the father of scientific management? Scientific. See, here you have T, scientific. So who is the father in the sense? F.W. Taylor. Now see, here T you have, here T you have. This is how you people need to remember. The father of general management is Henry Fayol and the father of scientific management is F.W. Taylor. Now, state any one factors of economic environment. See here, economic environment which affects the business practices. You need to tell one factor. See, the factor of economic environment is if the rate of interest changes, it affects the business. Yes or no? See, now the repo rates are high. Now, any person who takes the loan, the interest rates are more. So, it will definitely impact what? Impact the business. So, you can write the rate of interest. State any one quality of good leader. Now, you need to assume that you are a leader. What a good quality you have. If you go with that, people will follow you. Say, good communication. Then, risk-bearing ability. Knowledgeable, intelligent, good listener. Any one quality you can write it. Give the meaning of product. See, very simple this is. Give the meaning of product. Only one line you can actually go with it because they only say, right, one sentence is enough. 1 marks you will get. Goods and services which is offered for sale. That is called product. Anything which is for sale is called a product. Anything which is for sale is called product. So this is what? Give the meaning of product. Anything which is for sale is called product. Mention any one regulation which provides legal protection to the consumer. They are telling you any one regulation. See, Consumer Act only is a regulation. So, Consumer Protection Act 1986, if you write it, that itself is what? A consumer regulation for the protection of the consumer. So, this is where you can write 1986. So, the answer very simple you can write, that is Consumer Protection Act 1986. And you will get how many marks? 1 marks very easily. Next, part B. Now, part B consists of 2-mark question. Now, you are supposed to write 9 questions. Now, here I am going to teach you how to write these questions very easily. Now, please understand the instruction here. Answer any 9. Any 9. That means they have given you options of the following questions in 2 or 3 sentences each. Each question carries 2 marks. So, here you can't go with only 1 sentence. You need to go with minimum 2 and maximum 3. You can also extend to 4 and 5, but it is time consuming. Plus, it is a waste for it. So, what is that you should do is prescribe to the question. You need to brief it very fast. So, define management. The word itself is what? The question itself is what? Define management. They have not asked you what is management. They have asked you define management. So, whenever the define comes, you should write according to. According to. Henry Fayol, according to Philip Kotler, according to Coons and O'Donnell, according to F.W. Taylor, according to Abhilash Chandra. Now, management is an art of getting things done through others efficiently and effectively. Now, you should write the definition given by any of those people. Next is, what is scalar chain? What is scalar chain? For this, I'll just help you how to write the answer. Scalar chain was given by Henry Fayol. Now, in Henry Fayol 14 principle, there is the 6th principle which comes as scalar chain. What exactly scalar chain is? Now, you can also draw these diagrams. You can also write the tires, no issues. Now, here you have O, A, B, C, A dash, B dash, C dash. This is only for your understanding. I'm just explaining it to you. Now, below O, how many people are there? Right? And those many people are there. Now, communication which happens, that is from here to here, the authority flows. From here to here, the responsibility flows. Now, the communication from the top to the bottom, or from wherever it starts to the bottom, that chain without breaking is called scalar chain. From the top to the bottom, that is called scalar chain. Now, state any two features of planning. So, planning is all about what? Future course of action. Planning is a continuous one. Planning aims at goal-oriented. Planning uses optimum utilization of resources. So, any one feature, you can actually write it here. The next, the 20th question. The 20th question asks you differentiate between delegation and decentralization by taking any two factors as basis. Two factors as basis. Now, here I'm going to explain it to you. Now, the question number is 20. I'll write here answer for 20th question. Now, they have asked you that you are supposed to take two bases and differentiate. So, many of you, what you do is, you do not follow the instruction. Instead, you start writing the meaning of delegation, the meaning of decentralization. You will not get 2 marks. How will you get 2 marks? Is you need to go with differentiation here. When you go with these differentiation, the first word is here basis. Basis is what you are supposed to write. Here you go with delegation. Here you write decentralization. Decentralization. Now, any two factors you can go with. You can go with the meaning. You can go with their objective, or you can go with their role. You can go with any kind of a comparison. Now, you write the delegation, the meaning, and the delegation, the objective. Decentralization, the meaning, the decentralization, the objective. Many times, people have lost marks by not following this. See, delegation is transfer of authority from one person to the other person. So, that means the superior to the subordinate. But decentralization is not like that. It is distribution of authority and responsibility. Now, here in delegation, what happens is the top level people will have less work. But in decentralization, what happens here is the middle level, the employees will have more work in return. So, these are the differences which you people can actually quote. The next question is, state any two limitations of external source of recruitment. External source of recruitment. I'll again help you out what exactly and how exactly you people need to write it. I'll just delete this. Okay. Now, when we go with this question, state any two limitations of external source of recruitment. Now, please understand, we have existing employees. Don't consider ex-employees. It is called existing employee, the present employees. Now, we have new employee. Now, when the new employee comes to the job through external recruitment, what happens is this current employee, let me write this as current. employee will not accept the newcomers. That is the first limitations. They will not accept it. They feel that why did they take a new person? Instead, they could have given me more money. I would have done it. So that's the first one. Second one, what happens is there is no coordination between the current employee with the newcomer or vice versa. There are few newcomers who will not accept the people who are already there and their practices, their policies, they will not accept it. So that is where the limitations of external recruitment happens. So the next question is, what do you understand by supervision? What is supervision? There is a person who is actually supervising you. So what exactly that means is, there are few people who gonna talk to you, interact with you to check that what you are doing, what you're not doing, help you, guide you, motivate you. Those are called the supervision. So you can write the meaning of supervision. Supervision is a process, and then you can start explaining it. It is for 2 marks. Don't exceed more than 3 sentences. 2 to 3 sentences, it's all enough. What is budgetary control? See, budgetary control is a jargon which is used to check your expenditure and your income. Your income and expenditure, what you check, that becomes the budgetary control. And if it exceeds your income, that is the expenditure exceeds your income, that means that you don't have a proper budgetary control. So the next question, 24th question, state the twin objectives of financial planning. Guys, what is financial planning? I told you in the maths the following. Financial planning is always a blueprint. Now, what type of a blueprint is? Financial blueprint it is. So what is its objective is? The first objective is, I should always ensure that I have more funds. That is the objective. That's why I do financial planning. The second, I should never borrow finance from anybody else unnecessarily. That are the two twin objectives of financial planning. Let's go with the next one. How do you describe marketing mix? How do you describe marketing mix? Now, what exactly does marketing mix are? Now, I've told in the sessions also, and you people have followed it. Now, I'll just write it once again for you. Marketing mix is all about the elements called as 4 P's. The first one is place, or you can also write product. Anything you can actually go with it, right? Place, product, price, promotion. So these are called marketing mix. Now you will give a definition or a meaning of marketing mix, and then you can also write this as a diagram called elements of marketing mix. You will get 2 marks. Write any 2 rights of consumers. Write any 2 rights of consumers. See, when you write the rights of consumers, I'll write it here itself. The question number, this is 26 and that is 27, right? So this is 26 question. Now 27 I'll write here. The 27th answer is right to consumers. What are the rights? If you go shop somewhere, what all your rights as a consumer is? Right to information. You should get information about the product completely. Right to information. Right to be heard. Whatever you tell, they are the people who should actually listen to it. So as a consumer, what is your right? The first right itself is right to information. Right to information. The second right is right to be heard. So these are the 2 rights. There are n number of rights which a consumer goes with. You people can write it. Next one. The part C, 6th main, we have answer any 7 of the following questions. In 10 to 12 sentences, each question carries 4 marks. That means you will have 10 questions, students, here. You will have how much? 10 questions. In that 10 questions, you are supposed to only write 7. Only write 7. So each is 7 into 4 is equal to 28. Only 7 questions. That means 3 questions you can leave it. First, explain F.W. Taylor's scientific management principles. See, here only you will understand. There was a question, who is the father of general management? So here we have the answer for that. That is F.W. Taylor scientific management. So the remaining name was what? Henry Fayol. So explain F.W. Taylor scientific management. How to write this? I'll help you out. Please do watch my sessions. Go back to Vidhyaashram channel. Subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed. Go to the playlist. In the playlist, you need to scroll down where you have your AC Sir, Abhilash Chandra Sir, where I have given you all the notes plus the videos where you people can actually watch it. Now this F.W. Taylor is the second chapter. In the second chapter, exclusively, I have done the entire F.W. Taylor scientific management, science not rule of thumb, harmony not discord, cooperation not individualism, development of each and every individual to his or her greatest efficiency, optimum production. Now all these are the scientific principles which you people need to write it. So I'll tell you how to write here. First thing, you need to give meaning. Now meaning of what? Meaning of management or meaning of principles of management. Then you need to go with the flow chart. The flow chart. Now what is this flow chart is? You can write like this. Put a circle. Here you write scientific management. Now here you can actually divide it. Now here you can write science not rule of thumb. Please don't write any shortcut, guys. I want you people to write completely. I'm just giving you a shortcut here. Harmony not discord. Cooperation not individualism. Development of each and every employee to his or her greatest efficiency. Optimum production. So these are the 5 things which you can go for it and you will get 4 marks. Now after that you need to explain each and every point. Science not rule of thumb, and then explain. Go with 4 lines. Then the next, this is how you people will get 4 marks. And the last one which I want each and every students of Abhilash Sir to go with it is, please do write conclusion. So what to write in conclusion is, see, it's only because of F.W. Taylor. Even now, scientific management is used by almost 86% of the manufacturing units. 86%. Though it is backdated, right? It is not outdated. It is backdated, but not outdated. Still, 86% of the manufacturing company uses scientific management given by F.W. Taylor. So you can give a conclusion. So the question here is, explain any 4 points to explain how important the understanding of business environment. See, just a twist, what they have done is, they're not asking you directly, write the importance of business environment. They're asking you indirectly, saying that, explain how important the understanding of business. So the answer is what? Only for the question you should write importance of business environment. So how to write the answer? Very simple. I'll just teach you here. First write meaning of business environment. Then you go with importance of business environment. Write only 4. Write only 4. Each point, if you explain, you get 1 marks. So you have the following. Say you would have written A, B, C, and D. Now after this, the first important, second, third, fourth, you will start explaining it. Then the last one, what is that you should do? Give conclusion. Because business environment is very important for business. So please watch the business environmental concept class and you can write n number of importance of business. Next, the 30th question. Explain any 4 limitations of planning. See, the first limitation of planning is all plans will not lead to success. That's the biggest limitations of planning. Like that, the 3 more, if you go with it, say planning is costly, planning is time consuming, you can go with any number of things, but still how to write the answers. Again, same format, planning. You need to go with meaning. Then please do write the flow chart. Now when you write the flow chart, here is it. You can write limitations of planning. Here you can write A. All plans will not lead to success. Costly. Like that you can write the remaining things and then start explaining each and everything, plus give a conclusion for it. Explain any 4 important tests used for the selection of employee. Now selection test, whichever we have done in the staffing thing, the same things you can go with it. There are 7 important tests. Now you can go with any 4 because they have only mentioned any 4 important tests. Like you have a ability test, stress test, right? Those tests you can actually go for and write it. The same way here also, again, meaning of selection. Then go for it, then write it. Explain briefly the steps involved in controlling process. Now controlling process, very simple. Write the meaning of control. Now the process, when you write the process, I want you people to go with these flowcharts, or you people can also go with these flowcharts. First one, second one, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. See, controlling process, what happens is, the first thing is setting standards. After setting standards, measuring actuals. So you will measure it. Then you will go with comparing actual with standards. You see the deviation, rectifying the deviation, then follow up action. So these are the controlling process. You can easily write it. Next, briefly explain any 4 factors that affect dividend decisions. What are the factors which affects dividend decisions if you go with it? So here we have the dividend decisions. If you go, please understand, you need to explain it. So how will you explain? Very simple. Write the meaning. Now there are 4 factors, A, B, C, and D. Dividend stability is there. You'll also understand how to go with it because the competitor is also giving the dividend. So all these you will actually write it and start explaining it each and one. So you will get the factors also. Next one, explain any 4 factors affecting working capital requirement of a business. So whenever we go with this working capital requirement of a business, the scale is very important, right? The scale of operation, that is one thing. The second thing, if you go with it, the same kind of a 33rd, how did you write as meaning? You have written meaning of working capital. And then the 4 factors. Now 4 factors, if you go with it, is the production cycle is there. Then you have the business cycle. And the last one you have is availability of raw material. So all these 4, you can actually write it and then start explaining it. Next one. Explain any 4 factors that affect the fixation of price of a product. Fixation of a price of a product. How exactly it will help you. Again, here competitor is there. What type of product he's actually going with. The same segment is there. How much his pricing, how much my pricing. The same way, if you go with it, is the demand is more, supply is less, supply is more, demand is less. On that basis, you will go with fixation. Plus utility of the product. Utility is very, very important, guys. Utility, if you know, the more the utility, the more the prices. Like that, you will go with it. Explain any 2 advantages and 2 limitations of advertising. So for this question, you should actually write the same way the delegation decentralization basis you have written. So here what you should do is, you need to draw one difference table. Go back here, explain any 2 advantages and 2 limitations of advertising. So here what you are supposed to do is, you can write here advantage, here you can write disadvantage. So here, what exactly it is? Advantages of advertisement. Two things you write, A, B. Here disadvantage, A, B. That is how you can easily get 4 marks. But I want you people to write the C also. That is 3 advantages, 3 disadvantages. You will get 4 marks easily. When you know the answer, easily write more the lengthier, but not like 6 differences you have written, 6 limitations and advantage you have written. Please don't write like that. 3 is maximum, but 2 is minimum. State any 4 responsibility of consumers while purchasing, using and consuming goods and services. As a consumer, what are the things which you should know? That is, responsibility means your duties as a consumer, what exactly it is. Handle with care when you go with it. Now that is yours, so use it properly. Like that you can go with these things. Next one, the 7th main, that is a section D. Now section D is all about 8 marks. This is like essay answers, EA, essay answer. Now explain the characteristics of management. Now what exactly you should do? The same way, meaning and then 7 characteristics of management you need to do. So 1 marks for the meaning and 7 characteristics you are supposed to write it. Now management characteristics, if you go with it, it is same. I have given you a trick how to remember the characteristics of management. I'll just write it for you. GIRL, girl cop. G, group activity. I, intangible. R, reduces time. L, it's like GOAL, goal oriented. C, continuous process. O, optimum utilization of resources. P, pervasive. In your textbook, if you go with it, characteristics of management, they also have given you. Management is multidisciplinary, where management of people, management of work, management of operation, you can still write it. Management is dynamic nature, you still can write it. So the answers will be like this: 7 characteristics or any which you feel like. So that is also the answers which you people can go with it. Next one, what is organizing? Explain it. Importance. Again, same way. Meaning you write of organizing, then importance you write. Importance, there are 7 importance of organizing. Please do write the 7 importance of organizing. Explain the 4 methods of on-the-job and 4 methods of off-the-job training. Again, same way here also. That is, you will write meaning of on-the-job and meaning of the job. Now after meaning, what is that you're going to do is methods are there. So on the job, there are 4, A, B, C, D. Explain them. As well as off the job, write 4, A, B, C and D, and start explaining them. Now see, off the job, if you go with it, you will also get a point, that is case study is there, lecture teaching is there. You write case study, explain about it. Lecture teaching, explain about it. Now you have vestibule training, explain about it. Now like that here also on the job, if you go with it, coaching is there. You need to explain about what exactly coaching is all about. So these are the things which you are supposed to understand carefully and write the answers. I don't want anyone to get 7 marks. I want you people to get 8 marks. I want each and everybody, whoever are the students of Abhilash need to get 100 on 100. I'll teach you very, very easy steps, students. Please do watch all the revision classes also. After this model paper, we're going to do the revision classes from the chapter 1 to the chapter 12. Next is suggest the suitable measures to improve communication effectively. This is a directing chapter. Directing chapter also, you will get a 8-mark question. So please understand, the same way, improve communication effectiveness is a question. You can also get a question called as how to overcome the barriers of communication. How to overcome the barriers of communication. So be very active in these two questions. 8 marks definitely you will get. Explain the steps involved in the screen-based trading and settlement procedure of securities. Again, I told you about the settlement procedure of security. 2001 before, it was weekly. Trade plus a week, but very delayed, right? 2001 to 2002, when they went with it, T plus 5 days. Then it was reduced to T plus 3 days. Then 2003 onwards, it was T plus 2 days. But you should be very, very happy and proud about the Indian market, where they went with a new regulation which came on 27th January 2023, that is T plus 1 day. But all your blueprint, if you go with it, your textbook also says T plus 2 days, but get a very good knowledge about it. That is, I want each and every one of you to get the updated knowledge about it. Now the settlement period is what? T plus 1 day. Explain any 8 functions of marketing. See here, to write this answers, I'll just give you here the brief introduction. First one, you write meaning. Next, you write definition, because it is a 8-mark question. Then you write the flow chart, like importance of marketing. You can write this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, write 6, 7. Now here you write the points. And then you explain each and every point. Or if you're not this kind of a thing, you can also go with these. But I want you people to write the chart and then you go with explanation. This is how you people will fetch more marks, students. Next, the 7th is done. Now we are in the last one, that is the 8th one. Answer any 2 of the following questions. Each question carries 5 marks. 2 into 5 is equal to 10. This is called the part E, and part E is all about POQ question. We call it as practical oriented question. Now the first question is, assuming that you are the manager of an organization, draw the neat diagram of different levels of management to specify that authority responsibility relationship create different levels of management. Whenever we go with this, they are asking us levels of management. So what is that you should do? Triangle. Please draw a triangle half of the page of your booklet. Right here, top level, middle level, this is M, middle level, lower level, or it is called supervisory level. See, just this much if you write, you will not get 5 on 5. You will only get 2 marks. So here you should write, in top level, who all comes? CEO, CFO, Managing Director, Board of Director, Chairman, right? All people will come in the top level. Now here what happens is, you have HR manager, sales manager, promotion manager, marketing manager, etc. Lower level, I have seen in my valuation papers of different colleges where they have written employees, workers. I'm telling you guys, even all these are employees. All these are employees. Please don't write employees, workers. There is a separate class that is here, supervisor, okay, clerk, inspector. When I say inspector, I have also seen many of the papers, inspector, constable you have written. See, here inspector means a person who inspect the product, the quality check. That person is called inspector. It is not the police department inspector. So don't get confused. Supervisor, clerk, inspector, foreman. So these are the example. Now you will get 5 on 5? No, you will get only 4. Now how to get 5 marks in the sense? Now you should write here A, top level. What exactly their function is? Top level. B, say middle level. C, supervisor level. That one function if you write it, now you get 5 marks. This is how you people need to write. Within 6 minutes, you can get 5 marks. Very simple. Or even if you practice this regularly, within 3 minutes, you will finish it. Very fast, you're going to finish it. The next question we have is, draw the NEET diagram of Maslow theory. Now, this is a directing chapter question. Now, the answer for this Maslow theory is again same. Go with the triangle. Half of the page, you can actually take 3/4 of the page because it is little big here. Now, Maslow theory is also called as the need theory, or it is also called as hierarchy theory. Now, when we go with this hierarchy, what happens is it starts from the bottom to the top. It starts from bottom to the top. So, the first is here. Physiological needs. This is the first one, needs. The second one is here. We are supposed to go safety needs. That's why it is called need theory, Maslow's need theory. Next, after this is called social needs. Many of you will get confused. Social needs is also called as love and belongingness. You can also write love and belongingness is because it was given by Maslow. Next is esteem needs. Now the word esteem means very big, right? Luxury kind of a thing. So the last one is called here. Now when you don't have time or when you don't have the space to write here, you can actually write here self-actualization. Suppose if you don't have space here, what is that you should do is, you can just draw like this and write here self-actualization. It is also correct. So this is what Maslow's theory is all about. So like that, I have completely completed the entire model paper for you. Any doubt you have, students, please do call us. We're always there to help you. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.